Why did LEGO release 10 unlicensed, non-evergreen themes in 5 years? The late 2000s and early 2010s will forever be my favorite LEGO era due to the plethora of unlicensed, non-evergreen story themes that were released. Between 2008 and 2013, LEGO released 10 unique unlicensed themes, along with 3 castle reboots, which, while still important, are not the main focus of today's video, as the themes we'll be talking about today include Agents, Space Police, Power Miners, Atlantis, World Racers, Alien Conquest, Pharaoh's Quest, Dino, Monster Fighters, and Galaxy Squad. While all of these themes were short-lived, many of them made a tremendous impact on LEGO fans that belong to Generation Z, as these themes created lifelong fans. For myself, themes like Atlantis helped grow my love of LEGO, from just another toy I had to a hobby that will stick with me for the rest of my life. While I am obviously grateful for many of these themes, I can't help but ask, what was LEGO thinking? Why would they release so many short-lived themes? Why did they end them all? Why dump so many themes on LEGO fans at once? When I began my research on this topic, I thought the answer to this burning question would be pretty simple. In an effort to combat poor sales and the loss of revenue as a result of the 2007 financial crisis, LEGO must have mass-released all of the themes they had in development in a last effort to save the brand, right? This financial crisis was the worst since the Great Depression and created financial turmoil in not only the United States, but the rest of the world. Of course it impacted LEGO, correct? Surprisingly, it didn't. Even though we don't have access to all of LEGO's financial information, the company puts out financial statements every year with their annual report. And when looking at the numbers, LEGO did not struggle during this time. Quite the opposite happened, as the brand reached new heights. Between 2008 and 2012, LEGO saw their yearly net income quadruple, as well as their total assets more than double. In addition, LEGO hired over 5,000 new employees during this time period, which proves that LEGO was actively planning for and investing in the future, as the company was not simply trying to stay afloat while the world economy collapsed. So, if the worldwide recession didn't push LEGO to release 10 unique themes in 5 years, what did? Perhaps this was an attempt on LEGO's part to create lifelong fans. I mean, think about it. Around this time, LEGO began to fully embrace the AFOL community with the introduction of the modular series in 2007, along with the LEGO Star Wars Ultimate Collector series shift into bigger, better, and ultimately more expensive builds. Many of the AFOLs LEGO was targeting with these different projects grew up in the 1980s or 1990s, a time when unlicensed themes were all that existed. And maybe LEGO thought a reintroduction of different classic properties would create another generation of lifelong fans. 2009's Space Police was the third Space Police theme, but the first since 1999's Space Police 2. While Johnny Thunder and the Adventurers went to South America, Asia, and Dino Island in the late 1990s, they also went to Egypt, where 2011's Pharaoh's Quest line takes place. 2012's Monster Fighters theme saw LEGO touch horror for the first time since the early 2000s, with the horror sub-theme of Studios. And 2009's Power Miners is an obvious reboot of 1999's Rock Raiders. The point is, almost all of these themes share similarities with a theme that's anywhere from 10 to even 20 years older than it. For some, the resemblances are a bit simple, nothing special. But for others, the original theme and its modern rendition are almost indistinguishable. While this hypothesis might in fact be the reason for LEGO's release of 10 unlicensed story themes in 5 years, there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. First off, why did none of these themes transition into evergreen lines, or at the very least have more than 3 waves of sets? As previously mentioned, LEGO's net income grew exponentially between 2008 and 2013, so it's not like any of these themes destroyed the company's pockets. If they did, I assume LEGO would have stopped releasing original, non-evergreen story themes a lot sooner. There's no way they would have ended up releasing 10 themes in 5 years if the first few themes released were total flops. To be honest, it's quite likely that LEGO created these unlicensed story themes without the intention to one day turn some of them into evergreen lines. Yes, these themes all share some common traits. They were unlicensed, they all had 3 waves of sets or less, and they each had characters and a central story told through the sets, as well as through some minor multimedia appearances, with LEGO.com video games and LEGO Club Magazine comics. But that's it. In my licensed themes that replaced unlicensed themes video, I came to the conclusion that the 2012 Dino theme, a line with just 7 sets, was simply used as a forerunner of the Jurassic World theme, which is now on its way to becoming an evergreen line. I wouldn't be surprised if Pharaoh's Quest was LEGO's unlicensed answer to the Indiana Jones theme, which had wrapped up just a year and a half prior to Pharaoh's Quest sets appearing on shelves. In addition, it's possible that many of these themes served as a sort of warm-up to Ninjago, a theme that appeared on shelves in January 2011, alongside a TV show on Cartoon Network. After all, LEGO Ninjago was developed as a Big Bang project with a goal to double the sales of the previous Big Bang product line, LEGO Atlantis. When LEGO released Ninjago sets alongside the TV show in early 2011, they were creating not only their own lineup of sets, but one tied to a TV show on a major network. Perhaps the themes released prior to Ninjago's release in January 2011 were used by the brand to gauge consumer interest in unlicensed themes, as well as hopefully ignite interest among Gen Z LEGO fans in story themes. Of course, unlicensed story themes were around before 2008, with Aqua Raiders and Mars Mission sets. But for much of the 2000s, LEGO strayed away from story themes, as they focused on evergreen lines, like City, Creator, and Technic, while letting themes like Star Wars and Harry Potter dominate the story side of LEGO. That being said, these are all theories, as I doubt we'll ever get the answer to this burning question I and so many other LEGO fans have. That being, why did LEGO release 10 unlicensed themes in 5 years? And why did none of them last longer than 2 years? Maybe the answer is quite simple, as I could definitely be overthinking this topic. But at the same time, this answer could be tied up in controversy. Perhaps Disney would have bought Hasbro, and by extension Creo, and cut ties with LEGO if they continued to release unlicensed story themes? Or maybe something fishy went on with LEGO that caused them to mass release all of these themes. Maybe there isn't an answer. Did these themes just randomly come and go? While I don't expect any of these themes to ever return, I would be grateful to one day know why these themes came and went, as it would provide myself and the hundreds of thousands of other Generation Z LEGO fans that grew up with these themes the explanation and closure we deserve.